What was the biggest misconception that you had as a child? When I was a kid, I had no real concept of what being fired from a job actually meant. I'd heard the word plenty of times, mostly from my mom. She worked part-time from home, sometimes going into an office, sometimes sitting at the kitchen table with her laptop. She'd tell me and my sisters things like, "Don't bother me right now or I could get fired," or "If I don't finish this work, I might get fired." But she never explained what fired actually meant. And here's the thing, in my little kid brain, I thought being fired was, well, literal. Like the word meant what it said. Someone at her work would get mad, storm into the office, and actually set her on fire. Or worse, pull out a gun and shoot her right there on the spot. Because how else would they fire someone, right? I pictured it like a scene out of an old gangster movie. Boss with a cigar, angry shouting, maybe a gunshot echoing in the office hallway. Every time my mom warned us not to bother her because she could get fired, I felt this knot in my stomach tighten. I imagined her working frantically on her computer while someone outside her door waited, ready to burst in with a gun blazing if she made a mistake or got distracted. The thought terrified me. At night, I'd lie in bed wondering if the police would have to come, or if my mom would have to hide under her desk to survive. I was convinced that if I screamed too loud or knocked on her office door, I could accidentally get her killed. So I tiptoed around the house like a ninja, trying to be invisible. I remember whispering to my sisters, "We have to be super quiet, or mom might get fired and then she won't be here anymore." I told a few friends at school that my mom might get shot at work, and they looked at me like I was nuts. But I couldn't understand how getting fired could just mean losing a job. It felt way more serious, like something dangerous. My mom was everything to me. She was my safe place, my comfort. The idea that she could be hurt because of her job was terrifying beyond words. One time, when I was about 7, I asked her directly what fired really meant. I was so nervous, I stammered and avoided looking her in the eyes. She smiled, probably realizing how worried I was, and explained patiently that being fired just meant someone doesn't work there anymore. No guns, no fire. Just that the company doesn't need them to come back. I remember feeling so relieved that I almost burst into tears. For weeks after that, I kept double-checking, so they don't shoot people who get fired, and she'd laugh and say no, that's just a phrase people use. But even then, the word stuck with me. I guess there's something about the harshness of fired that made it sound so violent. It wasn't until I was older, maybe in my early teens, that I learned the phrase comes from old times when people literally fired guns as a warning or to clear a worksite. The modern meaning just stuck around in language, but no one ever meant it literally anymore. Looking back, I'm glad my misunderstanding didn't keep me up at night too long, but I still remember how real it felt, how deeply I feared losing my mom that way. It's funny now, but at the time, it was a world of terror wrapped up in a single word.